you can open up the meeting and start with the oath of office review.
Okay.
So we can call the meeting to order.
Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order. It's the 22nd of January, 6 p.m.
Ernest,
Yep.
you could stand, please. And this is the oath of office. You may have had a copy in your binder, but if you want to repeat after me and raise your right hand.
Okay.
And after I, just repeat your name.
Okay. I, Ernest Valenzuela,
do solemnly swear. Repeat after me. Do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear
Or affirm to support
or affirm to support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and all the laws,
and all the laws,
ordinances, and
resolutions
of the City of Goodhue,
of the City of Goodhue,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge the duties of the office of council for the City of Goodhue. That was my bad.
Yeah.
Of mayor for the City of Goodhue.
Mayor for the City of Goodhue,
In the county of Goodhue.
in the County of Goodhue,
And the state of Minnesota.
and in the State of Minnesota,
To the best of my judgment.
to the best of my judgment
And ability.
and ability.
Go ahead and sign. There you go.
Started out bad already. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And then you can open the EDA meeting and Todd will take over from there.
We'll open the EDA meeting at 6:02. First thing I'd like to do is take a look at the agenda, and I'm going to need a motion in a second to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the January 22nd EDA meeting.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. We do not have minutes from the previous meeting, so we'll move on. Public hearings and comment. If anybody has anything to say, we don't have anybody. So we go to new business. And the new business is we had 3 people apply to be on the Goodhue EDA Commission, and they are Sarah Bean, Kate Curdy, and Calvin Ryan. And that is the number that we need for our 5-person EDA commission. The other 2 members that we'll need are a council member or mayor, or a council member, however you want to put that together. But we do have to have 2 representatives from the city council. I would like to recommend that these 3 be approved or be appointed this evening, so we can kind of continue on with our momentum. However, that needs to come from the mayor and the city council. So I'm going to open it up if anybody has any concerns or any ideas they'd like to share.
Well, I think that the mayor and 1 council person should be on that. That's my opinion.
Think so? What do you think?
Yep, I agree.
So,
The one question I had for Bob was, can it be a vacant person, or does it have to be somebody that's here?
Mayor and council, I think that was Lisa, I'm not sure what you mean, a vacant person.
Meaning the future fill of the vacant
Seat.
seat. Because we did all of the assignments and I'm not saying that this person, I mean, this person's gonna not have an assignment. That's the only thing that I was thinking, is can we hold that open for the new council person, or do we have to do it tonight with the people that are here?
I see. It would be typical for you to do it tonight, but is there a legal requirement to do that? No. So I think that's up to the council to decide, but typically you would make that decision tonight.
Okay, that's fine.
We can always change it later.
I just
too.
wanted
Yeah.
to just ask, just because, you know, we had, not a full council.
And I think the nice thing about appointing the 3 at-large allows me to start working on that and start putting together the team and get to know who they are, and then have them also I want them to be here on the work session on February 11th, just so that they would be officially recognized and introduced, in case any of you don't know any of them. So I would want them to be here in attendance, and be recognized for that. So can I have a motion to approve the 3 that applied?
I'd make the motion that we approve the 3 that are applied and talk about the council member and the mayor or whatever.
I'll second that. I mean, Ernie said that he would do it, and I would volunteer to be interim until the vacant spot takes the other council member spot, if we wanna work with that. So,
Yep.
Sure. I am fine with that. Okay.
We had a motion and a second, was it all approved?
We had a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, thank you very much. At the work session, I did share with you a business survey draft. I feel strongly in the fact that with us starting off the EDA, that we really do need to be in touch with the business sector. And I really think that the business survey draft that I shared with you at the work session, I think goes a long ways towards not only us getting to know who they are, but I think for the business people to also understand that they have somebody who is looking to support them, and in whatever ways we can, whether it's looking for grants, it's funding, or how can we support them in small ways too? How can we attract new businesses in? Anything like that. Anything we can do to keep Goodhue vibrant for the future. So, I didn't share it with you, but if you have any feedback on it, if there's anything you feel needs to be changed or anything, this is not a motion or anything. So if you want to email me, you certainly can do that with any ideas you might have. Okay? All right. I am still looking for that almighty Goodhue business directory. But we are, I was given Dick Watermeyer, he might have something close to it. So I emailed him today, but I did not hear back from him. But if not that, we're gonna look at what was it we talked about? She can do a search.
Water utility, garbage, get some sort of commercial business.
Commercial. So we'll go that route, but it'll be nice though to put this together, directory together for the city of Goodhue as well. Okay, then we'll keep it updated. The pickleball courts, I am reconnecting with Sport Court on February 12th, and my goal really is just to get a virtual meeting put together with them, and let's just work through this and figure out what we can do to get things resolved. I really don't believe anybody when you ask them and just say, you did the work to the courts. Should we really expect that in less than 2 months, there are cracks and lines all over the place? I don't know how anybody can answer that truthfully and say, yeah, you can expect that. So really what I want to work with them, just go, what are all the possibilities we can do to amend it right now and make it look like something that we spent $40,000 on for the city of Goodhue. So I will let you know, because I know right now they're setting their schedule for the spring and summer. And so that's why I just want to get in touch with them, not trying to make them upset or anything, but let's just figure out a way we can work together and get it done.
I think that we should imply to them, that if they had any concerns when they looked at it to bid it, they should have brought those concerns up then, if they thought that was gonna happen. I'll have all the problems afterwards, but to do the work and then have all this stuff happen right away, that should have been something they took into consideration when they were looking at the job.
Yeah. They said prep the ground. What does prep the ground mean? And so Jason and I were even talking today too, and we were just wondering too, is it just the paint? But what would surprise me is that we didn't have any freezing temperatures. Temperatures were in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm a little confused on it. But anyway, I just think going to get together with them, work with them, and make sure we get a resolution that is acceptable for the city of Goodhue.
Sure.
So, all right.
So I have a question. So the last time that I was hearing about this, what was the last meeting you've had with them? And has there been any meetings at the courts with them physically?
No. So the last time we communicated, I did it via email. And the Mayor Buck at that time had asked me to include the lawyer and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So that everybody was kind of aware of what was happening. And so I contacted them. They said, they gave me a reply, but I responded back just saying, well, rather than I want to make sure you acknowledge that this happened in the fall before any freezing temperatures. I don't want us to wait until the spring and somebody says, well, that's what happens over the winter. So I think he was a little offended. He wasn't real happy with me. And I just said, okay, I'll wait and I'll contact you again. But I just wanted to make sure you knew that fact, that we were all on the same page. So
Have they seen it physically or just with the
I
pictures?
just took
you
those
sent?
pictures and shared them with them. Yeah.
Do you mind sharing those photos with me? I guess I haven't
Sure.
seen the pickleball
Yeah.
courts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because most would,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
most would think that when you prep something, you prep it for the perfect outcome. So it's like, yeah, I mean,
I know asphalt isn't as probably isn't as good as concrete, but I've seen tennis courts on asphalt that are still painted and they're 25, 30 years down the road. So was it the paint that wasn't correct, or was it not put on correctly, or I don't know. But
because new cracks formed or the old cracks resurfaced.
no, there are new cracks in it. That's what really surprised me.
Okay.
New cracks.
So who prepped this floor?
Courts, sport courts, out of Burnsville. So I will be communicating with them and trying to we'll get it figured out. But I'll keep you guys posted on that.
The one thing I just wanted to state for anybody that's watching, and if anybody asks you, the money that was used for this was not city money per se. It was the COVID money and,
Yes.
and the requirements is that it needed to better the community. So I just want you, if anybody asks you, it wasn't any donation that was given to the city. It was the COVID money that we used, that we needed to use before the end of the year.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. Good point. Okay, there are no reports. I just have items for next EDA meeting down here because that's what I'll use when I'm in the meetings with our commission. So basically, at this point, I'll go right below that. The next EDA meeting, I am not going to be around on February 26th. So what I'm going to do is have the meeting on February 12th during the working session. think that should be okay, and then, I guess all I need is a motion for an adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the January 23rd meeting.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Mayor, or thank you very much, everybody, and, welcome aboard, Ernie.
Thank you.
So then you can call this regular city council and then we do the pledge.
Okay, so we'll call, for the regular city council meeting.
We'll do the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And then you just do a roll call. Who's here?
Okay, so we'll do a roll call. And everyone just says their name.
You just say we have Joe, Michael, Chris.
Joel, Michael, and Chris. I'm sorry,
Here, whatever.
I'm sorry. Too fast. Michael. Yep, here.
Chris.
Chris Smith
And us two.
and
Lori.
Lori
And
and Lisa.
then you call to see if there is, to approve or amend the agenda.
Okay, so we'll call for approval or amending of the agenda.
I have one change. You can remove the first new business.
Any other changes? I'll make a motion to approve the January 22nd council meeting agenda.
Second.
Yeah, no second.
Joe.
Oh,
And all in favor?
Aye, or all in favor, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yep. Just say all in favor and
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed.
Opposed, sorry.
That's okay.
it's all right.
And then you start with the first item. If you want to-
The January 8th minutes.
Okay, so, request for, approved minutes for January 8th, city council regular meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the January 8th, 2025 work meeting minutes.
A second.
It may take a
I'll
little while
second.
for them to go through it.
So you have to call for a vote.
Okay, so we'll call for a vote.
Aye.
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 Opposed?
Any opposed?
Motion carried.
Motion carried. Okay. Okay,
And
and
there's no old business, we go on. Oh, I'm sorry,
request,
consent agenda.
yep.
That is done in one motion. Generally, there's more things underneath here, but we just have the one that was decided on, for the renewal, so you just need to call for the first 7 seconds for the tobacco. consent.
Okay, so, request of, for motion for approve the, renewal tobacco license.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, so,
All in favor?
motion, what's that?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 And then opposed?
Opposed?
Motion carried.
Okay. Old business?
And there removed.
Okay. New business setting meeting with the Lions.
The Lions is, the club is meeting to determine when this will happen. I don't have any information since I added it to the new business. As soon as they meet, they're gonna let us know when they want to meet with us regarding the insurance, all the things that were brought up with the issues with the agreement. with
Yeah.
them.
The president approached me and he says, what's going on? I said, well, you're gonna have to set up a meeting with the city administrator and then we'll get together and talk about it. And it seemed to me like they were in total agreement with everything, so I don't think it'll be too rough a deal.
Yeah, they just needed to have a meeting.
Yeah.
To see when it works for them.
Right.
So as soon as I know, I'll let you know when that meeting will be. And that's all that I have for that. And then the next item,
Okay, set public hearing for the variance request.
I included in your packet the variance that was submitted. And the first step is to set a public hearing. And that's what you do. It will be at the next regular meeting, which is the second meeting of February. So then that allows Lori to get the public hearing notice to the paper. And I'll have it on the website. We'll put it on the TV. And she'll notify the residents, because you have the residents. We have to do a 350-foot radius of the two properties and send letters to them because their property is next to where this variance will be. So then that all gets done, and then at the second meeting in February is when the public hearing, and the public will be able to submit questions via email to her, a letter, writing a letter, or short. And then the discussion will happen on the variance. So there's not much here to do except to set the public hearing, and then Lori will get it to the paper, and we'll get the public hearing set.
So this letter you're talking about though, is for a 350-foot radius, is that for businesses it goes to, or residents?
Any property that's within 350-foot radius of the two properties that the variance request is being asked for.
And if we get any type of negative response,
They will have to come to the meeting, submit it in writing,
okay,
email or a letter. They would have to come to that public hearing. That's their chance to come.
gotcha, okay.
So this is the process that happens with any variance, is you have to notify the people who are surrounding the property. And it just so happens this is downtown, so the 350 radius does go into some residential. It's not just all commercial.
Mayor, if I may speak.
Good.
Is that right?
What's that?
Go ahead. He's
May I
asking to
speak?
speak.
Yeah, go ahead, yep.
Sure, so yeah, Mayor and Council, just to reiterate what Lisa's saying, you know, we've updated the zoning and subdivision ordinances for the city, and one of the things we wanted to clarify was the need to have a hearing anytime you're considering a variance. That's required by state law, so we want to make sure that we're complying with that. And then I think it was you, Mayor, that asked, or somebody on council asked a question, you know, what do we do if there are folks that are around this property that have comments or maybe have opposition to the variance? And the answer to that is that you just weigh that. You'll just weigh whatever it is folks have to say. The applicant is going to have, I presume, some things to say. Folks that are around the property may want to weigh in, and then you'll just have to weigh that. There's a legal standard for deciding whether or not to grant a variance, and you'll just have to weigh the information that you receive at the hearing in deciding whether the legal standard for granting the variance is met or not. So it's not as if you get opposition and that means you can't grant the variance, or if you don't get any opposition, you have to grant the variance. Neither of those are true. You just weigh what you hear at the hearing.
Thank you.
Do any of you have any more questions?
No,
Bob?
I'm good.
Okay. So you would just need to make a motion to set the public hearing and, have it on the second meeting in February. So we just need a motion, a second, and,
I'll make a motion to set the public hearing for the variance request for February 26th, 2025.
I'll second that motion.
and then
All in
you
favor?
that's it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion.
This motion carried for the February 25th, 2nd,
26th.
26th, okay. Okay, then, acting mayor appointment?
That was a carryover from the first meeting that we did, because we hadn't gotten you sworn in. We wanted to make sure that you were here when the acting mayor position was selected. So that's a carryover from normally what happens on the first meeting of the year. If you can't come to a meeting for a reason, then the acting mayor will be stepping in to take the brunt of the meeting. So generally, it's a discussion on who it would be amongst you.
So, if we're short a council member, is this something that we have to wait on till we have all positions filled, or can we decide now?
Does anybody else want to, is anybody else interested in it?
The only thing would be, is if you weren't here, we wouldn't have
Right.
a representative do it.
Correct.
We do not need, do we need to wait, or can we wait? Do we need to set this?
And Mayor, council members, you do not need to wait. You know, the city council, we have 3 or more council members now. So this is a properly called council meeting and the council can act. Do you have to appoint an acting mayor now? No, you don't have to do that. I guess the only thing that could happen is if mayor, if you're called away or unable to attend, then I guess the 3, before you make an appointment to the open seat, the 3 members that are able to attend would have to take a vote at the meeting to decide who's going to act as the mayor at that meeting. So it's not a big deal. If you elected not to appoint an acting mayor tonight, that would be okay, but it's perfectly legal and perfectly appropriate to go ahead and appoint the acting mayor now if you want to.
So,
It's your decision.
can I nominate?
Yes, you can.
So I'd like to nominate, Chris Schmidt.
And then, anybody else have any comments? Otherwise, you can motion, second, and approve the nomination.
So any other comments, or?
Good with that.
How are you about that?
I'm fine. I was gonna volunteer anyway, but
Okay.
I saw the look in his eye.
I'll make the motion
So-
that we accept Chris Smith as the acting mayor.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carried to have, Chris Schmidt be the, interim acting mayor. All right, next, adopt a resolution for temporary appointment to council.
You just need to, at the opening, you need to decide how you want to do it. The 3 options are special election, just outward appoint somebody tonight, or you can go to the list that I provided to you, who got the next highest vote. And so it's just a decision on how you want to proceed with filling the vacancy.
Have you been in contact at all with Jason? Would he be interested in it?
I have not been in contact with him. That would be something that if you guys wanted to do that, because he was on before,
Yeah.
then you would make that recommendation now. I would talk to him, he still would have to accept
Right,
or
exactly.
decline. So it's not, obviously, he's not here, so
Yeah.
I would go by your, motion and second to offer it to him, and I would report back to you on what his answer is.
I'd like to make the motion that we,
Well, I hate to interrupt, I'm sorry, council member, to interrupt you. And maybe I'm mistaken, but is resolution 25-1, which declares the vacancy, that's dated for adoption tonight, as I understand it. So that was not adopted at your last meeting, as I recall. And so before we decide how to fill the vacancy, we have to declare the existence of the vacancy. And so action on that resolution would be the first thing.
Alrighty, so somebody needs to do that first, I apologize.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 25-1, resolution declaring a council vacancy.
second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Opposed?
Agreed.
So now you can discuss how you want to proceed.
So I guess I did talk to Jason about it briefly this weekend. He didn't seem like he had any objections to it, but at the same time, I guess we were cut short in our discussion, so he never also agreed to it, but he didn't have any objections to it, so.
And I also know, back in the corner there, Janine Nagel is on this list and she has came in too.
No,
So,
I'm good for anybody that's interested in the seat, you know, wants to step forward and help the city out. It's a commitment, and it's good to see people are wanting to do that stuff. So, I mean, I don't have any objections to any of it, either way.
I guess I appreciate the fact that she's here, and has her name on there too, so.
Yeah, it means a lot that she stepped forward and
Yeah.
came to the meeting tonight.
Yeah,
And we'll just see how you guys want to handle it.
so do we want to ask around or do we want to let Janine step in or?
I think the fact that she's here and she's interested and showed some interest, and I think that states a lot for her.
I would agree.
I agree.
So do you want to consider, I'm just going, because it was a motion for Jason. Do you want to continue with that, or do
No.
you want to not?
I didn't realize there was somebody here that was
Okay.
interested.
I just want to make sure that we have it all. that we
Yeah,
have it
no,
all. Is there anybody else here that is?
Are you sure, Traven, are you sure?
Other time.
Traven, you? No? Is this something you're interested in?
Yes,
Okay. So
We can just remove that motion, right?
you could just,
make a new motion.
Yeah.
I'll make a new motion to have Janine Nagel be our fourth council person.
Sure. I'll second that.
All in favor?
All in favor, sorry.
Yes, sir.
How do we spell her name?
Jeannine, Nagel, Nagel, lots of N's.
Okay.
Opposed?
Opposed? So motion carried.
And then, Mayor and Council, I'm talking more than I should, I apologize. It would be customary, it's not required, but it would be customary actually to swear in the new council member right now.
Yay.
Hey,
Well, so jump in,
jump right in.
step forward.
Let's not wait.
Who's got the camera for the website?
Right here, here you go.
well,
How do you
use
use it?
this, I guess.
What do I do? Oh, I can sit over
You can stand wherever Lori can be in front of you.
Okay.
You can,
Oh, they're not gonna put this in the paper.
I might.
Where is the paper guy?
That's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
He's always here.
Yeah, no, great, absolutely.
Is that the guy's name? I forget.
He's ill.
What's going on?
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
I, Jenny Nagel,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm to support
or affirm to support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and all the laws,
and all the laws,
ordinances, and resolutions
ordinances, and resolutions
of the City of Goodhue,
of the City of Goodhue,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of council
of the office of council
for the City of Goodhue,
for the City of Goodhue,
in the county of Goodhue,
in the county of Goodhue,
and the state of Minnesota,
in the state of Minnesota,
and to the best of my judgment.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Thank you.
Well, welcome, Janine.
Yep.
Thank you.
Glad to have you part of the council.
She'll get you a new sheet to sign.
Oh,
There's your
sure.
name on it.
Sure.
Honor.
Should she be up here?
Alrighty.
That's what I thought.
Shouldn't she be sitting at?
Oh,
Yep.
well, she said she would just sit there, but
I didn't know, I don't know.
Oh, but then she,
You just will join us.
Oh, I was wondering.
There's a jump in with both feet.
Yeah.
Might as well, might as well. I'm gonna sit next to her, so next time.
This was
The signs
for
here.
the hearing.
This is so exciting.
well, we did, didn't we?
We made a motion to set the public hearing variance, but we didn't make the motion to adopt resolution 2502.
Oh, specifically, because that is the motion to set
Correct.
the hearing.
So I think we need to go and specifically,
Specifically state that it was, yeah, it's a public hearing, but it was a resolution to set the public hearing.
so we need to make a motion on this,
Motion
correct?
to accept resolution number.
25-02.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept resolution 25-02.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Council.
Council
concerns?
comments?
None here.
None?
I don't have any.
No mayor comments?
I have a couple of things. I just wanted to ask how the fundraiser went.
Oh,
So
for me.
you were
Yeah.
were in charge of that, so I wanted to know if it, because of the licensing thing.
Yeah, no, everything went great.
It was
Everything
okay.
went great. Yes,
Okay.
it was a very good turnout. And
With the cold, they.
no, didn't I wouldn't say it hampered anyone. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Well,
it
that's
was
good.
good.
Okay. I just wanted to, because I know that there was an issue with getting the license in time, so I
Yep.
just wanted to just make sure that it was still good, and it still was the
Yep.
outcome that you wanted.
Yep, yep.
Okay, perfect. The only other thing that I have is I'm wondering if there's an update from, have you got it, there was a gas issue yesterday?
Yeah, so,
So I didn't know, I don't know anything about it, so I wanted to just,
yeah, so Kyle reached out to me yesterday and apparently there was a main line coming in for 2 homes in the new subdivision that were split off into the 2 homes, and they're not sure if there was a piece of plastic in the line that hit the valve, or it was after the fact, after it was all installed and they did their landscaping, that something compressed a line or something like that. But they had set up with Egg Partners to get 2 LP tanks delivered at these 2 houses, along with replacing a control panel for one of the home's water heaters. And when they had all of this lined out, magically the flow was back to normal. So they're going to keep an eye on it. They have, was it MNSA or
MMUA.
yeah, they were going to come out and make sure that everything, the flow rate was still the same, and they were going to keep an eye on it. But Egg Partners is still on standby to deliver 2 propane tanks for the 2 homes. So, and that happened yesterday morning, I think, is when Kyle called me, so when
And
he
then
found
was
out
there
about
any
it.
damage?
Mhm.
Not like frozen damage or
No.
whatever?
Not that he told me anyway.
No, okay. Yeah, I just know that Jason was gone. I didn't know what was going on. He had a couple of other things that I knew about, but I didn't know,
Yeah,
what the status was.
They seemed like they acted on it pretty fast to take care of the homeowners. So,
Okay.
pretty good. No damage that he told me about anyway, so.
Okay. That was all I had.
That's it? All right, so,
Just one thing that I have is, the replacement plow fund. Is Jason looking?
He is, now that we got that big chunk from the TIF free.
Okay.
He's not
Actively?
desperate, yeah, he's, cause we have to get a bid and go through all that whole process.
Yeah, I was looking at some, auction things, but
Yeah, if it's because of the dollar amount,
yeah,
it needs to be a bid, so I know that he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We were waiting for it, and then we got the disbursement from the county, so now he is looking to see if it's feasible, what's the best way, if we buy somebody else's problem,
Yeah.
or if we bite the bullet and get something new.
right. Okay.
So if we purchase through the state bid, are we still required to get 3 bids?
Because of the dollar amount, it
You-
depends on the dollar amount.
Even though it's through the state bid, which is a bidding process in itself?
Well, then, it's my understanding, Bob, that it's the dollar amount that's gonna determine getting the bids.
Okay.
Do you know how that works, Bob?
What you're talking about is that if the bidding threshold is triggered, if the bid is, if the thing you're acquiring is subject to bidding and it's expected to cost $175,000 or more, you have to bid for it. And so if that's triggered, you expect the thing to cost more than that amount, then you have to publicly bid it. And the state bid that Councilmember Brunkhorst is talking about is just an alternative that meets the bidding requirements. So if the threshold is met, you have to bid. You can use the state list instead of bidding when that threshold is met.
So that does satisfy the requirement then? Okay.
What in particular are we talking about there? I mean, I missed.
So the plow truck that we have,
Yeah.
the red dump truck, 2-wheel drive, the bed on it, the dump box, everything back there is just rotted
Okay.
all to heck.
And it's leaking.
Yep, leaking. I mean, they're constantly
Like the sand is leaking, you're saying, and salt is leaking out,
I
or is
mean,
it
no,
fluid? Okay.
fluids.
Fluid is.
So it's we got it used years ago. I think it's a 2001. I mean, it's probably close to 20 years old, but
Yeah.
it's just every year they keep putting Band-Aids on it and Band-Aids on it. And
Okay.
so I know they were looking at something that was very similar, but you know, it was a wish list kind of item. But I know that they've welded more parts in the back of that thing.
I know it's been kind of a pain.
So, I mean, okay, all right,
Yeah,
well,
that solves it.
Yeah, and the fund, you know, I keep calling it a fund, it's things that were overpaid, refunds we sold. I've been just accumulating a tally and then, giving the county back that TIF money, we got 1/3 of it, so that was $30,000. So it's money that's not being taken from someplace else that I've been putting in this account to try to, help
Yeah.
pay for it without it not being as big of a dent, in public funds.
Yeah.
By using money that we didn't know that we had. Some of the refunds we're getting from IRS tax overpayments from 2022, 2023. So we're halfway through 2023, so more might come. I don't know. But they're letting us know that, or they're saying this wasn't done right. So then I submit the correct paperwork, and it results in a refund.
Well, it's good.
So are we not actively saving for infrastructure improvements such as vehicles?
We Will, in 2025, I can't speak to what was done before 2025,
Okay.
but Jason and I have been talking, and that's what
It-
the plan is going forward.
Okay.
It's just
Kinda
that
like
this,
we did with the police cars, every year we put in, you know,
yeah,
$5,000 for a police car, and after 5 years, we had 25,000 towards, which I think is the same concept you and Jason.
it'll be the same with this, it's just that this was not expected to be replaced, but it needs to be replaced in 2025. If we get no more snow, then we're good.
2026.
But it's just putting it off.
The other thing, the question I had was, on your notes, it says, section 8, City of Goodhue has been plowing there.
That's, the continuation of the agreement with the Lions Club.
Oh, okay.
That was on the agreement that we do not plow, but according to Jason, we have been plowing.
Okay.
So is it not cost effective that we continue to try to remove our own snow and plow and invest money into, you know, a plow truck that's probably gonna be,
That would be our most cost-effective way.
yeah,
If
it would be, to buy our own, to have our own.
If it dies, we would have to contract it out. I know it's just
Mhm.
they can't get it going tomorrow when we get
Which
5
they
inches
did
of
a
snow.
couple of years ago when we didn't have Public Works. I know Tomber Enterprises
You have to,
did a lot,
you have to,
and
contract it out.
It wasn't cheap.
All right, so,
So that's something that, Jason, like I said, it's not active. I think maybe it's not actively, no, but that's gonna change.
keep my fingers crossed. All right, anything else? All right, so motion to pay the bills.
So I have a question. Maybe you can help me with that. How is it? Okay, so they all have overtime, right?
It's regular, yeah, OT would be over here.
Correct, but you know, how are they using vacation when they have?
Carry
Wait,
it
no,
there.
because never mind. I'm used to a 40-hour week.
Yeah.
This is an 80-hour week.
Yeah,
That's how.
well.
Okay. No. I answered my own question.
You wanna just put questions down, or you wanna do that?
No, I answered my own question as I talked through it. Well,
Sometimes
as
that
I talked at Joe, I talked it through my own head. I did have one question. The INS group says like senior living sidewalk, general municipal engineering, something.
That's our engineer.
INS group.
And anytime we call him with a question or he researches something that's relating to engineering, he classifies it as what category it falls under.
So that'd be Reese, correct?
Yep.
So he worked for, I thought it was ISG. No?
Yep.
INS?
Yeah. Oh, ISG. I and SG's group. Okay. I'm putting it all together now.
Are we supposed to sign the second sheet too, that you got the little tab on?
Oh,
Please.
sorry.
There's two of them this time.
I will make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried to pay the bills.
Yep.
Can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I missed the agenda, but, here on behalf of the Traven Karen, most people know what he did. But here on behalf of the Goody Belchester Rail Riders, we're looking to do a raffle again this year, is looking for a motion to approve the permit. Instead of a side-by-side, we're just gonna do a cash raffle this year, since the last 3, have just been returned right back to the dealership anyway.
What? Really?
You gotta pay tax.
That's fine. Oh.
When is it?
August 2nd.
First.
August 2nd.
Yeah, first Saturday of August, right?
Yeah.
What do you wanna do now?
What's that?
I was busy talking, what do you wanna do instead?
We're just gonna do a cash raffle,
Oh, okay.
And you said it was in August?
August 2nd.
Okay, she'll need to, get the resolution and put it on to the next one, so they can formally adopt it and get the information on the dates and what it is. So if you have the paperwork, she would go get that on the next council resolution, and after it's approved, then she'll get that back to you. And then, since we have time, normally these things come ahead of time, and it gets on the agenda, and so
Yeah, that was my miss.
we'll just handle it that way instead of making a motion and approving it now, so they have the information in front of them.
Sounds
That's
good.
okay, okay. And do you have a phone number or something to get a hold of them? She'll let you know when it's ready. She'll let you know when it's ready.
Sounds good.
Anybody else?
No, so we just had a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right.